An amazing hunger for more has driven Curtis "50 Cent" Jackson to leave behind a negative lifestyle to become a multi-platinum selling rapper, an actor, and a serial entrepreneur. 50 Cent continues to build his business empire as well as 50 Cent the brand. Building on his success in the music industry, 50 Cent continues to branch out into an ever-increasing amount of businesses. Don't forget to watch today's video to the very end for an inside scoop on the life of 50 Cent. But before we begin, please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon to never miss another upload of ours. Having said that, let's jump right in. Early days. 50 Cent was born as Curtis James Jackson III with a 15-year-old single mother, Sabrina, who worked as a cocaine dealer for a living. Considering the circumstances, there wasn't much to predict the success he would have when he was born in the poverty-stricken South Jamaica of Queens, New York. His mother, who desperately tried to give him a better life, was killed in 1983 by allegedly a group of mafia criminals who she'd worked with. Curtis was barely 8 years old. He was then taken to his grandparents' house where he lived with his 8 aunts and uncles. In the absence of his mother, who wanted him to live a meaningful life, Jackson came in touch with some dark elements of the society and spent most of his time roaming in the streets. By the time he turned 12, he was already dealing narcotics and taking drug money and guns to school. He'd frequently lie to his grandparents and pretend that he regularly attended the after-school programs. One day, while in 10th grade, Curtis was caught having a gun and some tiny packets of cocaine at Andrew Jackson High School. He was arrested and sent to a correctional boot camp. Curtis's grandparents trusted him and believed he'd not follow the path of his deceased mother. It was the very first time he confessed his dark secrets to his grandmother and promised her to return from the correctional camp as a normal teen, transitioning to a new life as a rapper. At correctional camp, Curtis developed his passion for rapping. It was here he adopted the name 50 Cent as a metaphor for change. In an interview to the Time magazine, he admitted that the name he derived from Kelvin Martin, a notorious robber from Brooklyn. He said, "Because it says everything I wanted to say. I'm the same kind of person 50 Cent was. I provide for myself by any means." On returning from the camp, Curtis started practicing rap in one of his friends' basement. In 1996, he was introduced to Jam Master Jay, the DJ of the hip-hop group Run DMC. Jay agreed to teach him the depths of rapping, how to count bars, write hooks and choruses, structure and edit songs, and more. In 1999, 50 Cent made his first public appearance for a group called Onyx on their album Shut Them Down. He appeared in the song titled React, which drew average success. In 1999, 50 Cent signed to Columbia Records with the help of the platinum-selling producers Trackmasters. He rose to fame with his controversial single, How to Rob. The success of the song got him several critics, of which Big Pun, Corrupt, Wyclef Jean, Missy Elliott, and several others expressed anger through their forthcoming songs. Battling with Life. On 24 May 2000, 50 Cent was attacked by a gunman named Daryl Homobomb right outside his grandmother's home in South Jamaica. He was shot 9 times from a very close range with a 9mm handgun, but miraculously survived and fully recovered in 5 months. One of the gunshots hit his face, resulting in the loss of a wisdom tooth, a swollen tongue, and a small slur in his voice. In his autobiography, From Pieces to Weight, Once Upon a Time in Southside Queens, 50 Cent writes, "After I got shot 9 times at close range and didn't die, I started to think I must have a purpose in life. How much more damage could that shell have done? Give me an inch in this direction or that one and I'm gone." Rise to fame. After recovering from the bullet injuries, 50 Cent moved to Canada along with his friend and business partner, Shamani XL. In 2002, Eminem invited him to Los Angeles and arranged his meeting with Dr. Dre. Together, they helped him sign a $1 million record deal that resulted into the release of the mixtape No Mercy, No Fear, which was used as a soundtrack on Eminem's semi-autobiographical movie 8 Mile. 50 Cent's life dramatically changed in February 2003 when he released his first commercial album, Get Rich or Die Tryin'. The album sold over 1 million copies in the first 10 days and debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200. In 2005, his second album, The Massacre, sold over 1 million copies in the first 4 days. His other albums, Curtis in 2007 and Before I Self-Destruct in 2009, were equally successful. Philanthropy and the Mission to Feed a Billion. In 2003, at the pinnacle of his career, 50 Cent started thinking about utilizing his success to make a difference in the lives of low-income and underserved communities. The same year, he founded G-Unity Foundation. In the past 8 years, the foundation has contributed with hundreds of college grants and has created a community garden with Bette Midler's New York Restoration Project. It also focuses on the physical and mental health of urban youth in primary, elementary, and adult education. In 2011, while touring African countries, he came across some of the poorest areas and saw people living without food and clean drinking water. In his words, "It is such a miserable world out here." In a TV interview, he said, "I grew up without money, but I didn't grow up hungry. A lot of people out there are dying of hunger. It is our responsibility to come together and do things to create a solution for this global epidemic." Upon returning, he collaborated with Chris Clark, an Australian-born social entrepreneur and the founder of Pure Growth Partners, and together they founded Street King. The company manufactures herbal energy shots, and for every unit sale, they give one wholesome meal to a hungry child. They have also collaborated with the UN World Food Program and are working in the hardest-hit areas of Kenya and Somalia. In an interview to Forbes, 50 Cent claimed to have served over 3.5 million meals since September 2011 and added that he was not going to stop even if he reached the billion mark. 50 Cent, the entrepreneur. Successful musicians are no longer happy with their royalties being their only source of income. 50 Cent has taken the idea of being a multi-talented mogul with a large business empire to the next level. He has used his popularity and his brand to leverage his talents as a serial entrepreneur. 50 Cent says, "Once you're well-known, there is no time to slow down. You have to market the hell out of yourself and get more exposure." 50 Cent has made multiple millions of dollars off the back of his global brand. From books to vitamin water, 50 Cent has money coming in from a lot of sources. Vitamin water. One of 50's most lucrative earners was his deal with Vitamin Water. When he signed a deal to endorse the Formula 50 beverage, the parent company Energy Bands gave him a stake in the business. In the spring of 2007, the company was purchased by Coca-Cola with 50 shares of the deal being $100 million after taxes. Headphones. In 2011, 50 Cent founded the headphones company SMS Audio, with SMS standing for Studio Mastered Sound. In the summer of that year, 50 purchased Kona Audio for an undisclosed amount. The headphone business continues to be a growth area for 50 Cent, with his company being a pioneer in wireless headphones, and recent partnerships with basketball star Carmelo Anthony and Intel suggest further growth. Books. 50 Cent's ghostwritten autobiography, From Pieces to Weight, reportedly sold somewhere in the region of 100,000 copies with total sales of $1.9 million. His latest book, The 50th Law, saw him collaborate with the 48 Laws of Power author Robert Greene. The rest of 50's empire. Music, books, vitamin water, headphones, energy drinks, and clothing just isn't enough for 50 Cent. Believe it or not, there's more. 50 Cent has acted alongside Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, and Forest Whitaker in his developing career as an actor, and has even started his own movie production company. 50 Cent has also sold $125 million+ worth of video games after the title Bulletproof sold in excess of 2.5 million copies. As well as clothes, 50 was paid $20 million by Reebok in 2003 to design and be the new face of a new line of sneakers. The sneakers ended up being a hit, generating more than $320 million. 50 Cent has made no secret of his desire to be a billionaire, and conducive to this, he also continues to build his real estate and financial portfolios. Bankruptcy and power. A lot of celebrities run into financial trouble because of their lavish lifestyles and mismanagement of funds, and Curtis was no different. Perhaps the most unlikely event in Curtis's action-packed life came when he filed for bankruptcy in 2015, with debt of $36 million and assets of less than $20 million. Curtis said that this is where normal people don't understand the nature of bankruptcy because they can't imagine dealing in such vast fortunes, as business people will do that in a heartbeat before losing money. Just a few months later, Curtis posted a picture of him with stacks of money spelling the word broke on his Instagram feed, which led critics in doubt if he was taking his situation seriously enough. Bankruptcy allowed him to start fresh, most notably as executive producer and actor on the successful American TV crime drama series Power. Soon after filing for bankruptcy, he announced having signed a $150 million deal with Starz. After a great success with the Power franchise, the news broke that he has the top 3 rated scripted cable series among Black households in the country. Curtis has now taken the lead in Black television. With the Power 4 Force coming up February the 6th, it will definitely make it to top 4. Finding his passions in pursuing his dreams allows him to reach the highest level of success. I was born alone and I will die alone. I've got to do what's right for me and not live my life the way anybody else wants it. 50 Cent. With that, we end today's video. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Lastly, join in next time for more of such interesting videos.